This is a First Defense Weather Alert.
And happy Tuesday to you. I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, live in the First Defense Weather Center. And we currently have a severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect for Chautauqua County, and this goes until 5 o'clock this afternoon, and not entirely sure what happened to the radar data there, but anyway, we have a warning. It's still in effect until 5 o'clock. This actually does include the city of Jamestown. As a matter of fact, what we can do here very quickly, let me just share this on my Facebook very quickly, and if we can, let's go to the high resolution radar, and here it is. Now this is a new radar source that we're using. This is a higher resolution radar. You can see it here. This yellow polygon is that severe thunderstorm warning, and you can see that it actually includes Jamestown, Falconer, Frewsburg. You're in this. It does not include Sinclairsville, Cassadaga, so you're not involved in this. This is for a storm that is coming out of Erie County, Pennsylvania, and it actually kind of looks like it's bowing out. It kind of has a little bit of a bow segment to it, so there's definitely could be some strong damaging straight line winds within here. The Weather Service in Buffalo is saying that a tornado is possible with this particular storm, and but the main threats are definitely going to be damaging winds of about 60 miles per hour and about half quarter-sized hail here. And as a matter of fact, let's take a look at the velocity product, and velocity measures storm rotation, and there is signs of rotation. It's right here. You can see it. It's right here where the reds and the greens are coming together. It's not especially tight. There is broad rotation within this storm, but so that's the area that the Weather Service is identifying with that. And so there is definitely some broad rotation that is going on within this storm, and this is ultimately moving to the northeast. You can see the storm track here. It's moving to the northeast. So again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. It's not a tornado warning, but it's a severe thunderstorm warning for the western and southern part of Chautauqua County. This includes places like Jamestown, Panama, Bemis Point, Chautauqua, Mayville. I would say it even goes up to Brockton, Westfield. Now, Fredonia, you're not in this. Dunkirk and Fredonia, you are not in this particular warning as of this point. And so that is a new severe thunderstorm warning. Actually, that warning still remains in effect until 5 o'clock this afternoon. And so that is that severe thunderstorm warning. And again, there is signs of rotation. It's coming kind of like right in here. You can see the reds and the greens coming together. It's right there that I have moved for you. And it's right in there. You can see it kind of right here. This is the area of rotation right here. Now again, it's broad. And again, a tornado is not broad rotation. It's very tight circulation that touches the ground. But again, it's broad at this point. We'll keep our eyes on it, and we'll ultimately see what ultimately happens here. Now, we actually did have some sunshine that is starting to break out here. Let me put this back on reflectivity, and we'll put this back into a time lapse so you can kind of see how the storms are moving. And there's a live look at the HD News Now cam. You can see the sun starting to peek out from some of the clouds, and this ultimately was what we were talking about on the air today, about how if we got some of the sun to peek out, then that will help to further destabilize the atmosphere, because the atmosphere was stabilized from the morning round of showers and storms that we had. And now for the majority of the afternoon, the clouds have been socked in all afternoon long. And but now we're starting to see some hints of sunshine starting to come out of here. And there's always a tip when you go on the air: turn your phone on silent mode. And I think Jay has some things he'd like to talk about. Jay?
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to the First Defense Weather Center. Dakota is so kind to let me hold down the fort in here. I just wanted to let you know, Dakota, we should have links 2 back online now.
Okay.
So if that is at your disposal as well, to show people what's going on. Saying hello to Gertrude, to Cindy, Garrett watching as well, Amy, and Nadine, Tim, all of you. Hello, and welcome to our special live weather coverage. Of course, if you have any photos or information that you want to share with us, please do in the comments down below, and we will pass it along to you, to everyone, and also to the weather officials as well, our weather partners at the National Weather Service.
Indeed. And so now we have links 2 up here. This is our First Defense Doppler radar. And again, this is the severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this is that line of showers and storms that's starting to come on through here. And again, there is some signs of an inflow notch kind of right here. And again, that would be the signs, and that is in that same area where the broad rotation actually is. So again, the inflow notch is where the winds are coming back into the storm, feeding back into it. So there definitely is some signs of broad rotation. We stress it's broad. Again, a tornado is not broad rotation. It's very tight circulation that touches the ground. That's the definition of a tornado. And there is no signs of tight circulation. It's broad. But again, you know, and actually that's the newest sweep right there. And again, there's evidence of an inflow notch right there. And again, I think the whole thing is rotating, but in a broad sense. So again, but there's definitely could be some strong damage to straight winds. Actually, let's move this up just a little bit, because you can kind of see how this part of the line segment go up a little bit, Jay. Yeah, there you go. This part of the line segment right here is starting to bow out. It looks like an archery bow. We call that a bow-shaped echo. So there's definitely signs that there could be some damaging strong wind gusts occurring with the storm when you see the storm starting to bow out like that. And again, I think that's probably going to be the main threat with the storms today, is definitely going to be the damaging straight line winds. So again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning for the western and then southern part of Chautauqua County until 5 o'clock. Whether or not this will be extended, we don't know at this point. We are in contact with the National Weather Service in Buffalo via our real-time chat session, and they have not posted anything yet if they are going to extend this warning out to the east. But again, I would assume if this storm ultimately maintains its structure and its severity, they probably will extend this warning probably out into the remainder of the county, going out into Cattaraugus County. But that remains to be seen. We also are not sure at this point if there will be a watch issued. Now, there is no severe thunderstorm watch issued at this point, but David Zaff, who is the Science Operations Officer at the National Weather Service in Buffalo, has stated that the Storm Prediction Center has been talking to them about a potential watch, but nothing is in stone yet about a potential watch. So again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect for Chautauqua County until 5 o'clock. So for the next 14 minutes, this warning will remain valid. And again, this is a storm that's coming out of Erie County, Pennsylvania. And actually, I was actually looking at this because they actually had a special marine warning up for Erie, Pennsylvania. And then we kind of seen this storm kind of move into Erie, PA, and then they ultimately triggered the warning for Chautauqua County. So again, that remains in effect for about another 14 minutes. And if we can, let's go to the high resolution radar. And again, you can see right here, now it looks like that the rotation on the newest radar scan, it's really starting to go away, but it's still there. Let me bring up my little doodad. And again, it's right here. That would be that possible rotation. Again, it's not looking as well defined as it once did. It was still broad, but again, there's still some signs that there could be some rotation in this. So again, just as long as the warning is active, I would be in a safe place. You want to be indoors, definitely. So you don't want to be obviously outside in this, obviously, when you have heavy downpours. And the thing I also want to mention too is that we have the potential for very heavy rain. These storms really do have the potential to lay down some very heavy rainfall. So we will have to keep our eyes on that. Actually, the computer modeling has been suggesting about 1 to 1.5, upwards of 2 inches in spots through tomorrow morning. So again, we will have to keep our eyes for potential flash flooding issues with these storms as well. But again, that's broad rotation signature, not as well defined as it once was. But again, it looks like it's starting to go away, at least that rotation signature. And the storm kind of looks like it might be kind of going through what's called it looks like it's kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say it's wrapping into itself, but ultimately it looks like the storm is starting to weaken a little bit. But again, there is still evidence of a bow-shaped echo in here, so there's definitely probably some damaging strong straight line winds, and these storms are slow movers. This is not a very fast moving storm. The storm rate today is kind of slow, and this is also going to lead to the potential for flash flooding because these storms are slow moving. So when they move very slow, that has the potential to lay down some very heavy rainfall as well when they are moving that slow. Throw it over to Jay in the Weather Center very quickly. Not sure if Jay has anything new over in the Weather Center.
At this point, just kind of checking in on the comments with folks. Want to say hello to Joey. He says, hello. Jeff is in Jamestown. And Joey says, how's the weekend looking weather-wise? Which I'm sure Dakota can answer in a little bit. Tina says, hello, Al, giving us a thumbs up. So thank you all to connecting with us here. In the Weather Center, of course, it looks like at this point now the majority of the storms are moving their way into our area. If we take another live look at the HD News Now cam, looking over 3rd Street as well, we have a lot of dark gray skies. I know a lot of people are watching from the Jamestown area. And then if we pan over to the Lakewood sky cam brought to you by the folks at East Lakewood Weather, you see gray clouds moving in. Otherwise, today really was a cloudy day, Dakota. We saw some sunshine peek out this afternoon, and that's not always the best thing for storms like this because they could really be fueled up by them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, actually the sunshine actually heats the atmosphere. So when you have sun, that helps to destabilize the atmosphere because it heats up, and obviously thunderstorms are fueled by heat. And when you have the sun heating the ground, that will cause this line of showers and thunderstorms to flare. So again, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for Chautauqua County for another 9 minutes. That goes until 5 o'clock. And again, this is a very slow-moving storm, and the radar clip on this, actually, when they issued the warning, the storm was kind of like in here, past Erie, when they issued the warning, and now it's not moved very fast. So again, whether or not the Weather Service is going to extend this warning, we're not sure yet, but again, we will pass that on if they ultimately do extend that on. Let's go to the main graphics on links 1. If we can, and we have a pretty good storm there in Warren County. But again, this is the severe weather outlook that is defined by the Storm Prediction Center. They still maintain the standard slight risk, and again, if you watched News Now at noon, you'll know that they pulled this slight risk further to the north. So again, everybody in Western New York is under this standard slight risk for severe thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. And so let's just go through the thunderstorm impacts very quickly. So again, the main timing window, it actually started earlier than expected, but again, pretty much now until about 8 o'clock is mainly going to be our main timing window here. And again, it's ultimately going to depend on how much sunshine, ultimately how much heating did the sun produce when it peaked out. And again, damaging winds, main threat, definitely some heavy rainfall as well with these storms as well. And so again, this is just the thunderstorm impacts that you can expect for today. And we always tell you to remain weather ready because weather around here, it can vary every day. So weather, it can always catch you off guard. Let's go back to links 2, which is First Defense Doppler. And again, severe thunderstorm warning still remains in effect for another 7 minutes. And they are going to ultimately make a decision on whether to extend this warning to include more of Chautauqua County, ultimately into Cattaraugus County, or if they're just going to let this go. Kind of looking at the radar returns, it kind of looks like it's starting to weaken off a little bit. It doesn't have the well-defined bow that it had maybe just a couple of radar sweeps ago. But again, as long as this warning is active, I'd still, be in a safe place, and I would respect this. And when it comes now, we don't have a tornado warning, but a lot of people don't exactly know what to do during a tornado warning, if we had one. You know the deal. It's a small room, hall, closet, bathroom. Lowest floor, if you got an up and a down, don't go up, you go down. Near the center, put as many walls as between you and the outside as you can, and away from windows. That is the rule there. And this is a storm coming into Warren.
Coming just south of Frewsburg, so it looks like it already went through Warren.
Okay, so it's passing north of Warren, because downtown
Yes.
Warren is right here.
Right.
Because this is downtown Warren.
And there is a little
right
bit
here.
of,
So this is passing on, 62?
Yes, it looked right through 62 right
so this
here.
would be passing south of Frewsburg, down 62, north of Warren. Actually, can we zoom this in to near street level?
Yeah.
Kind of want to see where this is. So again, this would be the southern branch of this storm coming into Warren County, PA. And let's move the map up a little bit here. And that's the newest radar sweep here. Actually, move it down so I can get a perspective here. So Warren is here. So it looks like this is not near downtown. The mall would be, well, what's left of the mall.
I think up in here.
Yeah, the mall would be kind of right in here because downtown is here. And we actually do have a Sky Vision camera in downtown Warren, but I'm not sure if we could get a good angle on that or not. We'll check on that. But I think it's passing just too far north to get a good angle of it. But again, this storm is not severe. It's the southern leg of the storm that is coming through. The Weather Service is going to allow the warning for Chautauqua County to expire. So it will expire at 5 o'clock. So they're not going to ultimately extend this severe thunderstorm warning. So the warning's active for another 5 minutes. The Weather Service in Buffalo is saying that they are going to let the warning expire. So again, at 5 o'clock, when this warning goes away, you can go about although the weather is still horrible. There's going to be thunder, lightning, definitely some heavy rain. But again, the storm looks like it might have started to weaken off a little bit. And actually, Erie, PA started to see some more sunshine earlier this afternoon, more than we did. So I think the atmosphere to our west is a little bit more juicy than it is over here on our end, because we haven't had a whole lot of sunshine yet.
And Dakota, clearly the storms over Erie at this point, or even the cell that is over Sherman at right now, caused them to issue, as we said earlier, that special marine warning. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's causing some trouble for boaters if you were out on Lake Erie today.
Yep.
So,
and again, that's why it's always a good idea. Have your phones. Have a good app that triggers warnings. Have a good, radar app on your phone. If you're a boater, everybody knows that. Actually, the special marine warning for Erie, PA is still in effect, and that goes until 5:15. And you can kind of see here, and again, they issued that special marine warning for these little, showers and storms that are passing just near Erie. So again, it's that blue polygon you see right here. That's the special marine warning for Lake Erie. And again, now the special marine warnings for Erie, PA does not include the Lake Erie shoreline in the New York sector. But again, that's for PA. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning essentially is over. They are going to let it expire at 5 o'clock. And I would not be a bit surprised if they are canceling it because it really looks like that the storm has really started weakening off. And again, we saw that little area in there where there might have been some rotation, and it was broad. But again, the one thing that we have to stress here is that this radar beam is several thousand feet off the ground. This is the radar coming from the Weather Service in Buffalo, which is at the airport. So the radar is up here. We're down here. So the radar beam is about 4,000 or 5,000 feet off the ground down here. So, at 4,000 or 5,000 feet, we can see a rotation signature, but we're not sure if that signature is actually down on the ground. That's why we need spotters, because the ground truth is important. But again, the rotation was rather broad, and I think the main threat with this was definitely some strong straight line winds, because it looked like the storm was bowing out as it was coming into Chautauqua County. But they're ultimately going to let this warning expire at 5 o'clock. Now, for the remainder of the area, we could still see showers and storms. The slight risk is still in effect. for all of Western New York, and it will remain in effect until the next update, which comes at about 7 o'clock. And at that point, the Storm Prediction Center will ultimately make a decision on whether to keep the slight risk in effect or ultimately pull it back. And again, you can see the next round of showers and storms that's going to be pushing in is more scattered. The rain we had this morning was more widespread. So again, this is going to be the classic shower and thunderstorms where they're just kind of cellular in nature. They may come in a line, but we think they're mainly going to be they're going to be more cellular in nature than they have been as well. If we can, let's go to links 1, which is our main graphics. And again, we'll just time out the remainder of the night for you here. This is the high-res computer model data that we run here. This is our BAMS model. And you can see the computer modeling, I think, is really doing a good job on this. This is that line of storms that's been moving through here. So again, definitely we're going to see some more showers and storms probably throughout the late afternoon and throughout the evening hours. Again, as long as that slight risk is in effect, there's still the potential that some of these storms could be to severe. But again, the threat is starting to lessen because we haven't had much sunshine. And then as we go throughout the night, scattered showers and storms throughout the nighttime hours. Then as we go into tomorrow, LE, lake effect in the terms of rain. We're going to have a cool air mass. Now, all this is actually the result of 2 frontal systems. The first system passed through here this morning, which was a warm front, which brought us all the widespread rain. The second system is coming our way now with a low pressure area that's passing to our west, a cold front behind it. That cold front is going to drop our temperatures. We're talking 60s as highs. And when you have a cold air mass like that, and it crosses over a warm lake water, you can expect some lake effect. So lake effect rain showers for tomorrow. So talking about the rainfall totals, I actually mentioned it earlier. This is what the in-house computer model has been pointing to in terms of rain totals, overall rain totals until tomorrow morning. Again, upwards of probably an inch in most spots, but once you go out into Cattaraugus County, the totals are really starting to go up here, over 2 inches in some spots. So definitely some localized flash flooding, definitely possible in some of these storms as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. Hour by hour for tomorrow, we're only going to top out in the mid to upper 60s as highs tomorrow. Lake effect rain showers will be more prevalent, especially throughout the afternoon hours as that frontal system approaches. 7 days, you can see here 68 is the average high for Wednesday. 71, we rebound a little bit. On Thursday, we dry out as well. But the next rain chances come our way over the weekend and into early next week. My computer is kind of in the way covering that up. But you can see we'll be in the 80s, about 82 degrees. Will be our high on Monday, and the heat and humidity comes back for early next week as well. So yeah, summer is just not over as of yet. Now, let's go back to Doppler, which is on links 2. And we'll do a quick little reset here. It's 5 o'clock. I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter in the first center manning the radar. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua County has ended. The Weather Service has allowed that warning to expire. They've actually issued a new special weather statement for Cattaraugus and Chautauqua counties underlying a strong thunderstorm. So this is it right here. And again, so this storm is not severe. It is ultimately weakened off. It's still a strong storm. Definitely gusty winds, probably of around 40 miles an hour are likely here, and maybe some small hail, and definitely some torrential downpours as well. But it's under severe limits. It's weakened off, hence the reason why the Weather Service is not going to extend this severe thunderstorm warning over. It's a very slow-moving storm, though. And, I mean, this storm rate motion has been moving very slowly. To the high-res radar I have here, it's only moving at about 28 miles an hour. So, again, you know, this is a very slow progression. And when you have slow-moving storms, that also increases the risk for flash flooding because the storms are slow-moving, so they're going to have a chance to lay down some torrential rainfall. So again, this is the storm in question that's kind of moving to the northeast, and so again, this is going to be kind of a, if I draw like a track with my hand, it's kind of moving this way. So again, you know, I mean, I still wouldn't, want to be outside in this, because definitely thunder, lightning, heavy rain, brief gusty winds, and maybe some small hail. But a storm is classified as severe if it is producing winds in excess of 58 miles per hour or greater, hail 1 inch in size or larger, which is about the size of a quarter, or a tornado. That is what makes a storm severe. And as of this point, we just don't see that. The storm looks like it's really starting to weaken off as it moved on through. And again, I really do think that the highest severe weather parameters are to our west. This is where they've seen more sunshine. We haven't seen a whole lot of sunshine yet, if at all, this afternoon. So the atmosphere still isn't as ripe or volatile as it is to our west. Jay, do you have anything you would like to add at this point?
No, just again, reminding everyone, if you have anything that you want to share with us, let us know on Facebook. Obviously, the stream's a little delayed from our broadcast center here, but send us images to the WNY News Now Facebook page, on Twitter at WNY News Now, and Instagram at WNY News Now as well. I know Dakota has social media links. If you want to ask him a question directly, you can do that on your page at Hunters WX on Twitter.
And on Facebook.
And then pretty much just saying hello to Michelle and to Robbie here. Of course, we will stay in the First Defense Weather Center as we head throughout the evening hours as well, and details about forecasts going far into the week. Dakota will, of course, have more details here. I don't know if you want to maybe wrap up with, I know we just talked about this briefly here, but maybe the next 7 days if we want.
Yeah. So again, here's my trademark. Next 7 days of your life are on the screen. Actually, insider joke. Actually, no, I won't mention it. Should I?
Yeah, go ahead. What's the joke?
Actually, I mean, we have no, warnings anymore. So, I mean, we can get a little, goofy now. But I mean, we all have inside jokes that at some point we're going to get like little name badges for our offices. And, mine on the First Defense weather door is going to say next 7 days of your life, ... Because I say that all the time when I bring up the 7-day forecast. But again, you can see here the passage of the cold front that comes our way tonight. And then tomorrow drops our temperature. 68 is the average high tomorrow. We rebound a little bit on Thursday, 71. At least it dries out. Dry Friday, nice summer day, I think. 77 degrees, partial sunshine, going to be great. But yeah, the humidity starts to come back into the weekend, into early next week, big time. And it looks like the humidity will remain until next week as well. So summer is not yet over with at this point. So since we don't have any warnings anymore at this particular point, and I really think throughout the remainder of the night and the afternoon, I really don't think we are going to see a widespread severe weather issue. Again, we haven't had a lot of sunshine, and that has helped with the cloud cover. That's helped keep our temperatures down a little bit and ultimately the atmosphere more stable. And actually, you can see the peaks of sunshine coming through on the HD News Now cam. But again, when you start seeing sunshine like that, I mean, that is a little bit concerning. But we will. We will stay here. I mean, weather people never sleep, so at least I don't. And I haven't had a proper night's sleep since 2002. So I don't know what sleep is. But anyway, so again, this is that little thunderstorm that was responsible for that severe thunderstorm warning. It has since weakened off, hence the reason why they did not extend the warning. But it's still strong. Definitely probably some gusty winds of maybe 40 miles an hour, maybe some small hail with that as well, and definitely some heavy rainfall as well. But again, it's mainly going to be scattered activity throughout the afternoon and the nighttime hours. So with that, since we don't have any warnings, as of this particular point, we are going to leave you all this afternoon, but we will stay in the Weather Center and keep you updated on Facebook, Twitter, all the social media platforms throughout the night. And with that, I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, live in the First Defense Weather Center. Have a good night.
This is a First Defense Weather Alert.